Hello guys, so in today's video I have decided to take a look onto the Mayo Micah in the Ravane match to actually see what was the biggest decision made in the game, and I'm gonna spoil it for you, but Mayo Micah is gonna win. I'm quite curious to see basically what happened throughout the game and what put him into better position. This matchup seems very interesting to me. Like Ayyubids against Malians, that's a very kind of uncommon matchup. And it's played on the Sunken Lands, which is pretty decent map. I would say together with the Dry Arabia, the best map which is present on the current ladder. I want to see what the players are doing, if there are some crazy plays, or if they are basically playing the golden standard Malians, going for some houses, of course, early on with the pit mine on the gold, then in the feudal, either like going, for example, javelins and spears, or just scouting that your opponent is going fast castle, so going fast castle yourself with like cow boom, etc., etc. Because both are the options. Maybe what's worthy to note is we can take a look. If you take a look onto Meomaica spawn, you can see that both goals are in the same direction, which usually means that we are kind of very prone to some sort of aggression. And take a look onto this. It's not only two goals, berries are on the same spot, possibly the deers as well as secondary berries, kind of in the same spot as well, or into the same direction from the TC almost. And then, yeah, there is one goal to the left side, so this might be possible place to gather resources if all of this gets denied. Yeah. Sometimes spawns like this, I would say, are pretty good to have like to place down the second landmark. I think the Saharan network is just overlooked, and for some reason players still tend to go for this Mansa Quarry. I understand that it's giving you some extra resources. It's quite good, but at the same time, like the protection and basically being knowing that even if you go like fast castle, you are still well protected. At least your villagers on the goal are very well protected. And with the Malians, it's very good because you can transfer the gold into the food, right, in form of cows, either like gathering from them, or going with the cattle ranges, of course. Here, quite curious military wing. Okay, that's quite rare, honestly, to go with a military wing. With the Albits, usually you just go with the dervish or with the eco in the feudal. So I am quite interested what he wants to achieve with it, honestly. Because we need to keep in mind, although it seems nice that you get a free camel, right, there is the camel, but at the same time you cannot re-heal him. So the moment you lose some HP on him, you need to at least wait for a castle age in order to get the monks in the castle age and try to re-heal him. But yeah, and keep in mind he's very prone. Zero ranged armor. He's getting bonus damage from the possible javelins because he's considered to be ranged, right? Yeah, maybe like the camel is very decent if you think that your opponent will go professional scouts, which here our opponent is going, because here you can see he's doing literally nothing to the camel. This is basically the best counter unit which you can make against the scouts. Although I'm quite curious how, like Meo my guy, you basically the moment you click up the age up, you cannot see what is the Malian player doing. Usually you are clicking 2.2 minutes 30 seconds into the game, and by the time you cannot see if he's like going fast castle or what is he gonna do. Usually you can see such a stuff somewhere between 4 to 5 minute mark. You see stables, but still you are not 100% sure. Maybe with the Malians you can make a decision that your opponent is going fast castle because you see a male, which usually means yes, professional scouts, right? But even though it's not like 100% guaranteeing, it can be for kettles, and stables might be for sofas early on, at least for like 2 3, maybe to do some harassment, etc. So yeah, definitely it's a bit risky. But he's doing like very good job here with with the camel. Keep in mind the camel is very prone, just as scout is, to any sort of here was my Micah quite lucky. Because of course the camel is very prone to any sort of DC fire because of zero ranged armor, right? Yeah, so this already what's happening there puts Micah into very good spot. Although he lost the scout, which is a bit unfortunate, but at the same time he scouted like right now what he needs to know. He already knows what is his opponent doing. He knows that he's going professional scouts, right? Based on seeing multiple scouts, etc. And he also basically, he lost the scout, but he kind of don't need the scout anymore, because if we take a look onto the map, I think he scouted all the relics except of this one, so he sees four of them, which is still quite good. and he can come into a conclusion that the last one will be somewhere here, based on the relic spawn, of course. So yeah, and right now I'm quite curious. What is he gonna age up with? It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be this wing. With yeah, exactly. Logistic to get free dervish and instantly start grabbing the relics. I don't think you have DPS to kill the monks. With the warrior scouts, because there is still the debuff and you are dealing only 7 damage, and the monk is healing himself, right? So I think it's just not enough, and this basically put Melmaika into way better position, because right now he's aging up. At the same time, Rivain so far got nothing from the professional scouts, and now I'm a bit confused, because although I thought it's gonna be like professional scouts 100%, now we can see that something very weird is happening. He made 6 scouts, but he's not getting the deers at all, right? And all of this gets completely, like, all of the scouts are absolutely countered by the military wing. There is the second camel from the military wing. So yeah, here military wing, like, 10 from 10 choice. Don't ask me how he decided to go with the camels. As I told you, basically you cannot make a decision this early in the game. Maybe it's some sort like of matchup. Then he knows that very likely Malian is gonna expect from you to go either with the villagers or with the monks early on. Yeah, maybe he thought that there will be the monks and he can chase them down with the scouts, or I don't know. Don't ask me. But so far, you can see Rivain top 20 player, but I absolutely hate what is he doing so far, because it doesn't make sense. He's not getting the deers. He's not achieving anything with like what is he doing? Yeah, a bit questionable. So right now, I would already put Mea Micah into the winning position. Yeah, because he's in such a way better spot right now. Yeah, there is the cast stage, you will be spamming the camel lancers, which makes absolute sense. Even if you are spamming sofas, the sofas aren't that great, of course, against camels, so good luck. And yeah, still there are these camels, and he's getting amazing value. This is like fourth scout down, so this is really good. Maybe here, small mistake from America. I would just go directly for the relics. Keep in mind we have 3 monks the moment of age up, so maybe I would wait a bit, for a few more camels, and then I would with one monk. I would definitely try to get this because it's super close, and then I would wait for a bit more camels, and then I would try to go for the actual relics. Okay, the scouts are quite decent actually in killing the monk, because of course they are fast. Yeah, Memoika could just wait here for like more camels, 2 more camels, and suddenly we are completely fine. Yeah, now he's going for the relics. Okay, and here we are spamming sofas. I already told like lately to Waffle that I think that staying on the sofas for some time is kind of underrated, because in some situations, even though you are in still feudal, they are quite good. Most importantly, because they don't cost you that much of a gold. They cost only 60 to 100 if you compare it with normal knights. At the same time, 120 food, which is also the less, but you still need the food income, right? And this is exactly what I was talking about. Right now, Rivain, instead of being on the tiers under his TC, he's on stupid berries, which is absolutely horrible for a Malian. Yeah, but yeah, he could be getting this, this, even maybe this, if you have decent map control at some stage of the game. So yeah, this is definitely no bueno. Even though like the professional scouts with the Malians, it's used quite often, but at the same time, do you need to get deers with the professional scouts if you are getting so much food from the cattle ranges the moment you age up into the castle age? It's like, I don't know, getting mining technology for HRE if you manage to pick 5 relics. Are you gonna be even like on the gold at all at this stage of the game? Very likely not. So yeah, it's a bit questionable. But of course, if you make such a decision that you make 2 insta stables after age up and you make so much scouts, then it's basically asking for it, right? You just cannot end some plan in the middle of the way. It's like getting the resources for the second TC, but never actually making the second TC because you are, scared of some push. Then you have just resources, laying them there down, and your entire build is kind of fuck up. Hey, I like the spear choice instead of the javelins. Because the javelins again, they would be very good against the camel, like desert raiders, but they would be complete trash against the potential camel lancers. Here, quite interesting situation is happening though. Maybe again, I don't know. In this game, honestly, I feel like my guy is like map hacking, which is he's not, but to me it seems like the decision to make to make keep like producing the desert raiders instead of start adding the actual camel lancers into the mix is very weird to me, especially if we consider that he lost the scout, and since that moment he never scouted anything. There can be multiple like archer ranges at some point, and he could be spamming the javelin throwers, but okay. Yeah, and he's doing very very good job with like targeting the spear. So this is very annoying combo. Against this, actually, javelin throwers of course must go. In this situation, yeah. But usually, what is the casual follow up with the Ayyubids is of course the camel lancers. So still, basically from the beginning, Micah in way better spot. Village wise, 41, 38. So there is the free villager lead, which is mostly because of some villager kills, I can imagine. Maybe, yeah, what I dislike so far, that Male Micah is still didn't took a single relic, which is weird to me, because even though if you are like healing these guys, you can have just one monk because it's AoE healing. So you can have one monk together with them, and the two monks could be, bringing you the relics already for some time. And it necessarily doesn't need to mean that you need to put them into the monastery. You can just drop them somewhere around your TC, and you are chilling. Now Meomaika basically put himself into a bit difficult position. Although the Desert Raiders, they are nice, they are not a unit usually with which you can finish the game. Why? Again, it comes down to zero ranged armor, and you cannot just go under your opponent TC or into his production and idle it, because you are just dying to the TC or to some outposts, etc., etc. Which is of course not happening if you have the camel lancers, because they have the ranged armor. Okay, let me speed it up this part a bit. Finally, we are getting the relics home. Although only one camel, the one dervish managed to survive. Yeah, and that's why he's like getting more dervish. Now we can see on his eco, he's quite confident with the gold. He's just ended up mining this second pit mine. He's not moving onto the gold anymore, which means, and you can see he moved very very heavily onto the food and onto the wood. Yeah, here we can see the shift click onto the deers. The reason behind this is definitely he needs way more production buildings, because so far we are on two stables only, and very likely what's gonna happen in the close future, Melmika like realized this as well, is that his opponent is gonna age up and he's gonna have like some different army composition. Very likely, if he sees this many camels, it's gonna be like either way more spears, so he cannot kill them fast and effectively as he did previously, or a lot of the javelin throwers. So he needs some different army composition, because again, these guys, they are super dying super fast to the javelin throwers. So yeah, either spears, he's gonna be facing, of course, sofas. Sofas are still very great. We have mobility, we have the armor, etc., etc. But of course, either spears or javelins. So I can imagine that he will switch to like mass something something. To me, it seems still like very crazy that he's still just producing these guys, but I guess okay. Yeah, and here we can see that the traits aren't that perfect for him anymore for Meomika, because these guys, they can throw the javelin as well, and it's dealing quite a lot of damage actually. If we take a look, it's dealing 8, yeah, it's dealing 7 plus 7, so 14 into the camel, because again, you don't have the ranged armor. Okay, now we did some weird macro, I would say. We are floating a lot of the food. Yeah, we are like macro is still towards towards producing these guys, which I hope is just not gonna work for me, Mike, honestly, at this point in the game. Yeah, now it cannot. Definitely now there are some javelin throws as well, and now he's kind of cooked. Like he cannot achieve anything right now. He cannot end the game. The trades aren't gonna be decent unless unless Ravane is gonna be mismacroing like this. So he's losing so much units for free. Here, what you wanna do as Ravane, wait for a few more javelin throwers, so have at least 10, and then you are taking the fight. Not slightly before you actually have the production buildings already. You already have some units, you don't have enough units, but you are being guided to that. Oh, this is just stupid from the Raven. Also, he's achieving nothing with like fighting Micah here. He's not putting him under the pressure, he's not cutting him out of some crucial resources. At the same time, he's not defending some crucial resources for himself, I feel like. What Male Micah, of course, he's chilling so much food. Yeah, this is because we put too many villages here. Yeah, and now to me it seems like his macro that his plan is to go like Imperlage behind all of this. I mean, Imperlage with this is pretty decent if you have this big like composition of desert raiders. Then you can of course just upgrade them into their elite level, and you are quite chilling for some time. But yeah, still they are still, even though if they would be elite like Imperial Age with all the upgrades, they are still very very countered by the Javelin throwers. Here definitely mistake from a Rivain. Although I like the spears, he should definitely scout a bit better. I think scouting is very very wrong actually on both sides. One of them lost the scout very very early. Second guy had shit of the scouts, but didn't react it accordingly. It seemed like Rivain is on zero scouts as well most of the time, although he had like 10 at some point in the feudal. So he should realize that his opponent is making only desert raiders and make the javelin throwers way 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 sooner. Yeah. He's still in feudal, no way close to actually aging up, which is one of the like winning conditions for the Ayyubids because or for the Ayyubids for the Malians, because basically the moment you age up with this amount of cows, you basically have plus like 15 to 20 villagers on the foot, which is something what Riven really really needs right now, because we can see he's spamming cows for himself so he can sustain at least some food income. Finally, we have at least 12 or 13 Germans right now. So finally, after such a long time, we have army composition which we wanted to have. Yeah, and now the only scary thing, what I can predict is gonna happen, that Mayor Micah is gonna switch army composition. He's still gonna be have some. Oh jeez, this is so dumb. Still to have some camel riders, but then or desert raiders, but then he needs to switch to camel lancers and archers actually sooner or later, because now I cannot imagine that some trades will be good for him at all. And of course, right now the Melma guy is in better spot because he managed to get 5 relics, right? Oh, it's only 4 so far. Where is the last one? Or this the unscouted one? And now basically this he's still very very annoying on the ego of his opponent. And yeah, this is what you never want to happen with the Malians. I don't know honestly why Rivain, if you are aging up, why you are outside of like actually your base and not protecting the calves and the villagers, because your entire important eco is between this and between this. So if you stay with your army here, you can actually very very fast move from one side to another. So this is definitely an oversight from the Rivain. Whereas the Ajab, we have only 15 cows in the ranches, although we still have like javelins. We are upgrading the spearmen and javelins. And spearmen, javelins, you might think that they are very, very good in countering the archers, which they are, but only in slow numbers. If you commit into like camel lancers and archer composition, we are killing spearmen way, way, way faster than your opponent is killing your own archers with the javelins. So in bigger numbers, this is just not good combination of units. This is very, very stupid. Still, like more desert raiders from Mermike, and somehow it's working for him. Yeah. There is the first camel answer. Clicked by a mistake, probably. Or I don't know. He still want TC. We started to do farm transition. One relic is here, so he found the last relic. Okay. Yeah, because don't forget that because he has military wing, he can actually make a Rams. But yeah, again, all of this would die very very hard to the javelins. Yeah, here we can see this. This is absolutely horrible. How many desert raiders he managed to kill, and keep in mind that these desert raiders, they are not, they are not cheap. So I think Melmike kind of underestimated the situation right now. He thought that he can end the game with just the desert raiders, and finally there is the camel lancer switch. This is something what you want to do the moment you see your opponent having like a lot of the javelins, of course, or range units in general, because we have zero range armor on your units. Finally, what is Rivain doing is to having his units, kind of split around this eco. So, which means some units there because you don't have a vision, then you put outposts there and you have a vision so you can add a garrison or run away. So your eco is actually protected. Finally, finally, finally. And finally, this gamble for Melmaika isn't working. I know that Melmaika is gonna win this game, and he's also a bit better player than Rivain for sure. But I'm not fan of this because Melmaika, going this far with only like making one unit type, it's very very dumb. It can actually work with only few units in the game, and I actually absolutely hate it. Sometimes it can work with Joan Knights, sometimes it can work with this, and very very often it can work with Rules Horse Archers. So, yeah. Um, Rivain is pushing there. Mm, yeah, and now the Camel Lancers are the really big deal here in this fight because he cannot kill them very, very fast. Also, he's still lacking the second like upgrade for damage. Rebane, which is not helping him either. He's adding more cows finally. Yeah, and we have mostly this army composition. Now we started to add sofas as well, but if Meomaika will do that switch into like yeah, even like Gulams are quite a good choice, and in general Gulams are never wrong against Malians if you are playing Ayyubids or Abbasids, because they are basically, because you don't have a crossbow, so in general you are struggling kinda in killing the Manatams. Yes, you can make a Musafari warriors, but they are dying super fast to archers, to crossbows, At the same time, the Gulams they work the way they hit your opponent twice, like the double hit with the sword, and it's actually very effective against Musafari warriors because they have very low health and low armor, so it's really good. Okay, and very soon there's gonna like the decision fight gonna happen, and now yeah, it's a bit tricky like what to do, what to make, and this is why you never want to have 46 javelin throwers. We will see it very soon actually. Not only there are the magrinals, which is of course downside with every single civilization, but the problem with the Malians is that with the javelins is that you are lacking crunched attack, which is not helping you neither. And actually, in reality, you are killing very fast from entire army composition. You are killing fast only these desert raiders, and at the same time you need to micro shit out of you in order to be killing them still effectively, because keep in mind the javelin throwers, their attack speed isn't something extra, so it's still quite difficult to kill them. You need to split your javelin throwers into something like this if you have this big mass, uh you know into something like this, I would say. uh yeah, it's even like difficult. Of course, now the army is stupidly positioned, but yeah, into something like this, have like three several control groups and try to target individually. But good luck if they are like mangonels of your opponent, then you are trying to do impossible basically. Like spread formation that target the unit move, so in a second the units are again like very close to each other. So yeah, good luck. Right now it's quite interesting because 72 villagers, Melmaka is on 88, so and we are still on 2 TC, so here you can see the gap. 88 to 72, that's 16 villagers extra, which is quite a lot if you think about it. So it means that Melmaka managed to kill 16 villagers. Okay, and now Ravane also added the second TC, 72, 89. So right now I feel Ravane basically has, eco advantage, of course, because there is this, there are the two TCs, there are the pit mines, at least two of them, maybe three somewhere. Yeah, I think two. But of course, the issue is right now that he just ran out of the gold, if I'm not mistaken. So he needs to go onto the gold somewhere. He needs to get access to this, or at least to this. And gold on this map is very important. But yeah, here is the thing. The javelin throwers, because you don't have crossbows, you see how many javelins can one stupid Gulam tank. So it's very difficult. He's trying to micro like properly to target the camels at least with these javelins. But yeah, it's pretty difficult. And this was a fight when Ravane had way more units actually. So he should win this fight quite easily. But right now, you are only on the javelins. And who is gonna kill the camel lancers? Who is gonna kill the lumps? Definitely not the javelins. So from right now, you are in a really tricky spot. How to get around this? Maybe archers with poison arrows in some situations are good, but at the same time they are not like very good as well, because you still have a lot of the armor targets in our opponent composition. So you actually need way more sofas. Even though you are playing against Ayyubids, so it's a bit downside. That's also why Abbasids and Ayyubids are considered to be kind of good civilizations against Malians, especially the Abbasids, I would say, because we are still debuffing and basically need sofas in order to kill these units quite well. You are debuffed, or you need to go into the Imperial Age and start building Musafari gunners. Otherwise, you are in very this is basically what really hurts you if you don't have crossbows as your mainline range unit. Yeah, and from now on, there is no way like Rivain can do anything. Although this still seems very close. Although he's on two TCs, the fight which is happening right here is very very important, although it might look for some time like 50-50 fight, with slight advantage on Meomaika side. Is very very crucial fight because there is this gold, right? There is this gold, there is this gold, and keep in mind Meomaika is still on 5 relics. So here Meomaika can chill. He knows if he loses this fight he can still move here, or maybe even here because there is not his opponent. Or what he can do also, he can just chill because he has 5 relics, right? Maybe on the revenge side, what I would do, we don't have a market, and here, Mel Micah, do we have a market? We don't have a, we have a market somewhere here. Did we sell something? A bit of a wood, it seems, yeah, and some food. Definitely, what you can go kind of around is with the, especially with the Malians, because still your food income is very very good. Although you have only 14 cows, so that's a mistake as well. You want to have like 20 for sure, so you can just sell some food if you struggle with like access to the goal. But of course it's not gonna save you in such a situation like this. Yeah. Now he started to make some, Musafari warriors into the mix, but it's too late. And yeah, at the same time, as I told you, they are very very low. Zero melee armor, zero ranged armor, so they are dying to anything, to archers, to crossbows, to springles, to even to mangonels because they have no armor. And they are very very low HP, and yeah, against gulams, of course, gulams are dealing. You can see they are dealing like 27 damage also with like the double hit. So yeah, now basically unwinnable game for Rivain. I think in this game, what was the like biggest mistake from Rivain was not getting value from the professional scouts. Although you committed into that strategy a lot, and otherwise it doesn't make sense to make so many scouts if you like YOLO and try to play around your opponent, and you cannot kill the camels neither. So in general, it didn't make sense. Your benefit which you have with the Ayyubids in compared to your opponent, with the Malians in compared to your opponent, is the fact that you can see the age up, right? Especially if the House of Wisdom is here and not here, it's very very easy to scout military. Okay, I know there are gonna be camels going. What I'm gonna do? The only unit which is doing nothing to the camel, or I want to go professional scout, but in the end I don't go, so doesn't make any sense from very way. This and then not securing his sources, resources, like not being in the with the army on the correct spots, leaving your ego exposed, losing a lot of the veils to stupid camel riders while you have very very good units to actually counter them, mostly the javelins of course. So yeah, it's a bit questionable. I would just make like 15, 12, 20, max 25 javelins, and then I would go back into the sofa and maybe started to produce archers instead with the poison arrows. And yeah, you basically need the sofas. If you want to stay in a castle age, you can with the Malians you cannot play with the sofas because the sofas are your only good tool to deal with the versus. You here you can see 17 plus versus 3 versus infantry, to deal with the gulams, to deal with opponent knights, etc. etc. And then you can use your javelins to your advantage. Early on, you are killing the camel, not lancers but riders. And later on, because your opponent sees you going armored units as well, so he very likely will start producing crossbows, so you can at least target the crossbows. But if there is army composition, there is actually nothing to kill with your javelins, and you have so much of them, so many of them, you are in a bad spot. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this game review, and yeah, see you soon during our sessions. Bye bye.